giving hope, giving light, bringing peace to our world. And this is the real woman.
When you say I do, I mean, what's his relationship with others like? What's her relationship with other people like? With parents, siblings, friends? You can learn a thing or two from there. Look at his nuclear family, look at his extended family. Can you love them too? Or are you just barely tolerating them? Okay, so that means you've got to find out who they are. Before you say I do, you've got to know them. Or is he hiding you away from them? These are so many things that you need to consider so that you don't run into trouble after marriage. Too many issues these days in marriage. Too many issues. And oftentimes, one just wonders, was there a proper foundation before they said I do before they got married? Was there proper counseling? Was there proper upbringing also? You see, before you say I do, you're going into marriage and realize that in marriage, it's likely that children will come. They should come. That's what we expect. Procreation, to someone gave birth to you, so you also give birth to your own children. You bring children up, and children will often turn out the way you raise them. And if they are raised by a loving couple, they end up being very stable no matter where they go. So this is so important. Marriage is for destiny, it's for leadership, it's to, make society a sane place to live. Is this man a womanizer? Does he womanize? Does he flirt? Because there's a lot of things that we deal with in marriage. There are a lot of people come and complain about, ladies have complained about their husbands. And we've found husbands too that have found situations where their wife, has just been flirting with this other person. When you say flirting, sometimes it's not outright adultery or having an affair, but it's just not keeping to that one person that is yours, having roving eyes all over the place, just going with anything or anyone in skirts. Those are the things that you need to notice, because some have it as a strong weakness and are defensive and are not willing to make any effort to change. If you have someone like that, before you say I do to this person, if you realize it's like that and is not willing to change, take to your heels, or else tell me that you already have the grace to live with it, and that won't, bring you joy, but rather it might bring you pain. So get help. Let this person get help before you say I do. Now this question says, very interesting. It's a few months to our wedding, and I think this is from West Africa somewhere. It's a few months to our wedding, and my mother-in-law moved her stuff in to his just rented apartment. According to her, it's their tradition for her to live with her first son for the first 2 years of marriage. Please, what do I do? Neoma, help me out. I don't want to say what I feel like saying. I want to be good on the set. As real as always and nice. Over to you. I didn't want to say the first thing that came to my head.
Well, that's a very tough one, because I wish she knew about this before.
But they're not married yet. She has not said I do. Thank you, Lord.
I know it's going to be a tough position, because 2 years is a long time.
Tradition. Okay,
Tradition.
go ahead.
Well, it still borders seriously on the two of them and what they want. Yes, tradition could be tradition. Maybe he could decide to rent an apartment close or something, so that yes, you're in the house, but or you're close enough, I don't know. but they have to really talk about it, because especially in the place of tradition, if people don't ask questions, to get all the information they need, you'll be shocked. Different things coming up, and you're like, I'm not prepared for this.
Exactly.
So they need to talk about it. If she's not comfortable about it, then tradition at this point, if it's something that is not that wouldn't kill at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, what's going to be the implications? Then they can jointly agree or tell the mom that, I'm sorry, we can't accommodate you that long.
Did he know about the tradition?
And that's another
along?
point.
Did he know?
If he knew about it,
Why
and
didn't he discuss
mention
it during the courtship?
It's-
I mean, they're still in courtship.
If it's courtship, she has to decide, because
Why didn't he?
if you keep information like that maybe it didn't even occur to
Or
him.
maybe he didn't know.
Sometimes men could be
Maybe he didn't know the tradition, but the mom is just telling him now.
assuming he
And
also
he's
knew,
now realizing.
but he didn't take it as serious until now the
Or he didn't think
issue
she would
has come
practice
up.
it. Maybe it was practiced on her,
And
her mother-in-law lived with them for 2 years. But he just thought because of modern day, he didn't think his mom would
was going to
practice
be
it.
an issue. It's a lot, but they have to
got to
really
discuss
agree,
it.
agree.
That means his mom is probably not a big Christian or not a born-again Christian to hold on to tradition. Because she could say, oh, in our own time this was a tradition, but now because I can't find it in the word, I'm not coming to live. Where's her? Then she leave her own husband for 2 years.
For 2 years.
She'll be living there in her son's house for 2 years.
Or he's going to move in as well.
Because the two are one anyway. Oh my God. This lady needs to now begin her investigation, lest she becomes like Leah. Or, you remember the story of, Jacob.
And then Rachel.
Jacob didn't know of that tradition because he was not living. Laban was his mom's brother in the Bible, in the book of Genesis. But Laban was living in another city completely. It was when Jacob messed up and Esau was angry with him and was looking for him that his mom says, you know what? Run to my brother's place. He's in this town. Just go there. Tell him you're Jacob and he will take you in. And that was what he did. So his mom probably didn't tell him about the tradition that the older, because she had two sons anyway. Yeah. She didn't have two girls. If she did, then maybe she would have told her girls, well,
this is what
the older will marry before the younger. So I hope you know our tradition. But here's Laban. He had two girls. I don't know if he had sons, but he had two girls, Leah and Rebecca and Rachel. But Jacob didn't know of that tradition because he lived abroad. And then he now ran to the village to go and live with his uncle. He didn't know of that tradition.
And Laban was trying to scheme as well. So he could have told him then, oh, you're coming from your daughter's, my younger daughter.
Yeah, because he promised him Rachel and said, okay, work for 7 years, I'll give you. Then he should have said, but within that 7 years, better be praying and find a husband for Leah so that she will marry before the 7 years is up. So you can have your Rachel. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? 7 years is a long time, and all that while he didn't say, we need to settle Leah first. I trust that Jacob would have prayed and found her a man so that he could. And then that's where they got the veil thing from. Because of the veil, when he said, I do, he didn't know who was behind the veil. Let's not even go there because that's just too bizarre that you didn't know who was behind the veil. Before you said, I do.
They were both
Better shine your eyes very well and know it's after the wedding night. In the morning.
Decided that, it's not
in the night,
there
was nothing like power, electricity, so maybe they just had a little candle in it. So in the night, he slept with her. He didn't know that he was not sleeping with Rachel. Because he had not slept with Rachel before, so he didn't know how Rachel was in bed. So in the morning, daylight, I said, what is this? I pray this should not happen to any man or any woman. So thank God she had not said, I do. Could it be after saying I do and then they go home or to the hotel or to his newly rented apartment, which is just a room or 2 rooms, or you know how it is when you just get married. Usually it's small, a room and a living room or 2 rooms, because usually start out, even those who are really, maybe the man is a bit rich, he's done well for himself. Usually it will be
It's
small.
still
It may
small
be
because you don't
a
need
small
all the
apartment, but in
space.
an expensive area. And then they get home from the honeymoon, and mother, sorry, has arrived at home to open the door for them. Welcome, my son and my daughter. He's like, what's she looking for? It's so early to visit. And then she gets in and her things are
Staying
all
for
over.
2 years.
Please excuse us. This is just so funny in this day and age. So I pray for God's wisdom. I pray for grace for her and this guy to come up with what they're going to do. Honestly, when I read out the question, the first thing was run. But it might be workable. She might change her mind. Is her husband still alive? He might step in and say, my dear, let's let go of that tradition. Actually, I need you more too around the house. Because what's he supposed to be doing? The children are getting married, all grown up. And then his wife now goes to live with. I understand when maybe you're living abroad or you need help with kids. When your kids are small,
When
you
the
can
kids
ask your
have
mom to
arrived.
say, please, mom, come and stay for 3 weeks. Stay for a month. Okay, stay for 1 week. We just need that initial help. So you come as parents because they invite you to come. That's how it's supposed to be.